Peace with the star with the star bloom. So this is part 2 to unearthing your origin story. This is a very specific message, y'all. Okay? And how I'm basically perceiving it and processing it is there is an awakened being who recognizes the patterns in which their life has basically played out and how they were carrying over certain. I had originally processed it as curses, but I believe that they were basically lessons within the ancestor line for them to be able to awaken and unbury certain truths, connections with certain entities and energies that the family had lived with. And even to like my plug, I had my plug plugged up to my phone because my phone started to die, which is why I basically ended the reading the last session. And everything be a message, y'all, okay? I see like my plug like laying on top of the ancestors, and just a second ago I was processing how the third eye is really up to you and opening. How you and what at depth and how deeply you are able to see beyond the veil, how much you're willing to work that memory so you could be able to see the messaging and the decoding. Even when you think about unearthing, but basically with the plug on top of the card, the ancestor card, I seen how the awakened being was being blocked, or someone was almost trying to like keep them from their ancestors. And even to recognizing the rate of love that could be coming in, the love offer could be through the ancestors, right? And it shows up in many different ways for this energy. The only reason why I said divine feminine energy is because I perceived it to be at this rate of canceling and indebting old contracts while assessing etherically what is left and what is due. So there's like a checks and balance that's happening. I see her in this accounting process where she recognizes she's awakening. However, even though she's at this rate, her counterpart is awakening to her while awakening to himself. But that's on the other side of it, right? At the rate that she was processing and perceiving it, she was sitting at this rate of the tower's falling, the debris is settled, everything around me has ended, this road is done here. But it didn't mean that her new journey wouldn't begin. And that's why she's in manifestation. That's why the love offer comes through the ancestors. But she still has to have this reckoning within the awakening that shatters old truths in order for her to connect to her true soulmate and remove herself from any type of third-party situationships. Even with the karmic masculine card, the karmic masculine fell out of the deck and it basically fell out sideways. There's this rate of even fraudulent energy not being able to be represented in the upright in her energy anymore due to the fact that she's now digging things that were buried and meant to not be perceived because she's a chosen one, right? They wanted this chosen one to be at a rate of poverty and to not receive her ancestral inheritance, even if it just may be her gift. See that? You are divinely protected. It's a lot of cards in this deck, y'all. And for those to be the cards that's like popping out, it's for a reason. They wanted her to not be able to actually see what it is that was present with her. They wanted her to be at this constant rate of asking for help or only perceiving the things that had ended and not being at the recognition that she now can truly manifest and call in by being exactly who she is, to be able to receive the love that she is innately. Me sharing my story of the ancestors who are with me is my rate of recognizing the rate of truth that comes through the ones who are assigned to you, that true love offering that is present within you, and how you could show up righteous in your mindset when you are at this rate within your crown chakra, recognizing that you do get to have soulmates of many different forms. And it's not just situationships to where you have to play third party or even cast off what it is that you truly desire, be at this rate of scarcity or like playing the fiddle. This father figure that showed up in a rate of not being honest with his daughter isn't because he didn't want to be honest. I believe that this masculine energy, I'm seeing paid to do work on you. She's broken ties with this, yeah. She's broken ties with this. Y'all, I said unearthing, and this card is in the reverse. It says that they threw dirt on your name. Even to that rate, she's at a rate of purity in her innocence. Her name is being cleared. The corruption that's been present around this energy. And you could be a divine masculine rested within your divine feminine. You could be a divine feminine rested within your divine masculine. This could show up many ways. Please don't cast the message away. Learn how to be able to process whatever it is that you're meant to perceive. It could just be the rate of one word ending. It could be awakening. Allow yourself to be at a rate to where you recognize the way in which your soul speaks to you, and allow that to be what greets you in this space. I thank you to my benevolent ancestors who am I assigned to and properly aligned at this time as I allow Archangel Michael to clear any and all etheric attachments, thought processes, and intentions being sent or casted towards me. Thank you to the Most High for aligning me to all rays of clarity and truth as I discern and channel through me, at the highest light and rate of frequency. Abracadabra, make it so. I say Asheo. This divine energy is recognizing that even though the way in which they properly are to perceive, right, their truth isn't necessarily to downcast their experiences. I believe that she's going to be shocked at what she now can see through her third eye, how the lie can't be hidden from her, how she now sees how cold this energy, this father figure has been basically in this rate of blocking her from her truth. I believe even blocking her from her, I have to say, her mother's lineage. So there could have been some type of cloaking. They could have put a veil on top of a veil. If you think about the Sinclair family, Earl, dude's name was Earl. Earl was janky, y'all, okay? And Fran, to me, was a little bit janky, too, because she had her moments where she would tell Earl that he needed to deal with baby Sinclair, right? And, what is it called? I was talking about, so the dad and the baby were all Megalosauruses or Megalosauruses. And then the other three, Robbie, I think old girl's name was Charlene, and then the mom was Fran. They all three were different dinosaurs. Y'all gotta pay attention to the details, okay? And even if you recognize the fact that the names of the daggone companies and stuff in it was represented that were oil rigs, there's this rate of incorporating something in order to not acknowledge something that's like right there in your face. Baby Sinclair was like this awakened being. He knew more. Even to like, you remember how they was like spelling out certain things. They was trying to keep an argument or a conversation from like being heard by the baby, but the baby was basically spelling out, they think that I can't spell. There's this rate of recognizing how regardless, you are always going to get to this rate of awareness within yourself and how you get to know the truth about who it is that you truly are. And in receiving this without trying to close your eyes to this truth, you get to be at a rate to where you actually see the light in what it is that you are, the light within you, seated within the light within you. Even behind the ancestors, there's the sun. There's four sun and 5 sun energies that are represented. Spirit is basically, I believe, allowing you to finally be in fullness and wholeness within your story, and taking any and all things that are in closets out, removing and casting away any and all unseen, and allowing you to be able to receive what was stolen from you in order for you to finally be at this rate to where you get to seat within your own authority, within your own bloodline, within your own lineage, and acceptance of everything that is present. It's not to harm you, it's to enlighten you. Peace.